What's going on, guys? Matt back again, this time for a TV review. I'm going to be reviewing Stranger Things 3, Episode 7, titled The Bite. It was written and directed by the Duffer Brothers, who also created the show. Let's go ahead and hop into the plot. The episode starts with the children escaping the Russian facility. No problem. Erica and Dustin have rescued Steve and Robin, and they're in this little red cart zooming through the hallway. No security cameras, no Russians getting in their way. It's just apparently for this to be a Russian facility created by the best Russian minds, it's really easy to go this way or that way to try to leave the facility, come back and rescue them, and then leave again. No problem. They go to the elevator and go back up. Clearly, this show is saying the Russian minds aren't really that great. Next thing I have is 11 beats Mind Flayer for the third time by splitting its head. By this point, why should the audience fear it? Well, the audience should not fear the Mind Flayer. First, 11 beats the Mind Flayer by throwing Billy out the wall, and then he gets away. She then fights it at the hospital by throwing it out the window, and then it gets away. And then she fights it this third time, splitting its head apart, and then they run away. So the Mind Flayer is now 0-3 against the good guys. It's really not much of a threat, so that kind of sucks for a show to have its villain not really be much of a threat. Moving on to the writing, I have what took the Mind Flayer so long to get to the cabin. They have time to get weapons and stuff. Yeah, it shows the Mind Flayer knocking over trees and running towards the cabin. We cut away to something else, I think the Russian facility. And then we cut back, and these kids have time to get a shotgun and axe. They move furniture in front of the windows, lock all the doors. It's really not consistent with how big the Mind Flayer is. I don't understand why it took so long to get there. Next thing I have in the same writing category, Lucas is sent to go find some stuff to help fix 11's injured leg. And then he sees some fireworks and gets distracted, which makes his character look pretty stupid. I have here Lucas thinking about fireworks when 11 is injured is stupid, especially when 11 has beaten the Mind Flayer 3 times already. So Lucas's idea is that, oh, we can use these fireworks to fight this giant goo monster. Why that would ever even cross your mind, I have no idea. Just the idea of using fireworks against a beast of that size is just really dumb. And then they leave the grocery store with like a grocery cart full of fireworks, as if that's really going to work. Okay, and the biggest problem I have with this episode is, I have written here, so Robin is now a lesbian when she was clearly, in the first 6 episodes, straight, because she admitted to being obsessed with Steve in the previous episode. So, if you watched my video about about Perry Nemiroff, you'll see in that video, Thad Williams tells Perry and Josh McCouga that Mia Hawke, the girl that plays Robin in this show, she admitted the fact that they changed her sexuality after episode 6 and before episode 7. So, and you can feel that in the show. She clearly tells Steve that she was obsessed with him, showing that she's very straight. And then this episode, she says she was obsessed with Steve because another girl was obsessed with him. It really doesn't make any sense, and it's a poor attempt at trying to curve her sexuality from straight to lesbian. The next thing I have here is Murray showing Alexi what America is all about at the fair. It's really nice. I really enjoyed that. So American pride in this show. But leaving him alone was dumb. Really taking him in the fair at all was dumb, considering the Russians were looking for him and all 4 of them, really. It really didn't fall in line for the Murray character, who's really a hideaway. He doesn't really like to go in public, and he's really scared about being found out by not only the Russian government but the American government. But really dumb move, and it ended up causing Alexi's death. So That was a nice character. It was sad to see him die the way he did, but at least he got to experience America before he died. The last thing I have is how is that Russian guy, the basically he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator guy, how is he walking around this fair holding a gun out in the open the way he was? It would have made more sense if he shot Alexei through his jacket or something like that, but him just walking around carrying the gun out in broad, not daylight because it's nighttime, but just carrying it around out in the open like that was kind of dumb. Those are all the problems I had for this episode. This is one of the better episodes. I struggled between giving it a 7 or 8. I want to give it an 8, but I'm going to have to give it a 7 because of the sudden shift in a character's sexuality. That's such a big shift and such a big change in the middle of a show. And that's just blatant bad writing. You can't do that. You know, I would have been fine with her being a lesbian if that was the idea from the get-go, from episode 1 and on through the whole show. But you watch episode 6, she's very clearly a straight girl, and then they change it. That's a big problem for me. So when you have that big problem, plus everything else I mentioned, I have to give this episode a 7 out of 10. But let me know your opinions in the comments below. Please like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for notifications for future videos, and y'all have a good one.